Morning. Set the start time for 6:45 this morning, but I got a quick call from my little ones and FaceTime them for a couple minutes. So I'm a little late this morning. Get my situation, my studio right. It was funny, I was talking to ChatGPT, and a lot of you know I was considering, still am, kicking around the idea of relocating to central Illinois to get closer to family and friends. And I was questioning ChatGPT on how to do it, or on some of the challenges I was facing. And I brought up Coffee with Ken as it pertained to the move, but it misread the tea leaves, what I was saying. And it thought that I was concerned that I missed this film, it would miss this, my filming space or my movie studio, if you will, or my apartment where I do the Coffee with Ken. Sure, a little bit. But what ChatGPT doesn't know is that Coffee with Ken has been used to a lot of transition over the last 6 years. Change is part of the channel almost by definition. You guys might get bored if I stay in this nice apartment for too long. You guys want to see me struggle. You sick bastards, you. So I had to explain to it. I go, no, I'm not worried about the filming space. I've done this in dark apartments and at gas stations, driving to Yellowstone, and from my car, and so many other tough spots. So yeah, as long as I have coffee and a camera, that's all the studio I need. Good morning, Jack Taylor. The real temperature up there, I just looked, is minus 18 degrees Fahrenheit. I forget what that'd be in Celsius for any international watchers, but I don't know what's I can't even think right now. 9/5 plus 32 or minus 32 or something like that. I forget what the fraction is. But yeah, it's really cold out there, and schools are canceled, and my school is canceled, so there'll be no sub. And they canceled it yesterday afternoon. I knew that it would be canceled. Kind of knew all week. Kind of caused me great fear earlier in the week. Looking at the weather, being a substitute teacher is one of your 3 jobs, and going, holy crud, it's going to be in the deep negatives. Later in the week, they're going to cancel school, which means they're not going to pay me. It's a little more challenging than I expected. It's minus 18, Jack Taylor. Minus 18. Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning, Opal. How are you? You say it's minus 20 in Minneapolis. Yeah, it's minus 18 in Appleton, Wisconsin. So it's pretty darn cold. And it's surprising. Where am I going to do my show? I think I'm probably going to do my show over there today. I'll show you what it's like outside. I just was showing my little girl what it looked like out there. You can't really tell. I mean, obviously, you can't see cold. But you can almost imagine. By the way, that's real pretty. I mean, it almost looks like, doesn't it look like a green screen? Tell me I don't look like hey, and here we are outside. It looks like a green screen with an amazingly handsome dude in front of it. An amazingly handsome dude. It's hard to take your eyes off the dude and look at the screen. Don't tell me it's not. I don't know if green screens can move, but this one's moving. I'm coming over here. Got my candle. Let's get ourselves some coffee. Still fighting that cold. I think I was really sick earlier in the week. I don't know that you guys were sympathetic enough to me as I was sitting there going, crying. Oh, wait, Opal's here today. Opal's here today. We're going to use my cup that we call Opal because Opal's watching. You can't go anywhere, Opal, or I'm going to get a different cup. This one's for you. Get myself some coffee. Show you what coffee I'm going to be drinking. It's the Seattle's Best sea salt toffee coffee. Let's see. We're going to sit down here. Can we sit down here? Okay, you guys got to be patient, and I'm going to dive into my show in just a minute. I think we're going to do this angle. I just want to see what would happen if I did this. Oh, that's kind of cool. I can do this. I can do this. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I got the fireplace light going. I got, this is kind of romantic. I feel like we're at a candlelight, I don't know, dinner. Hello. I love you. The last 3 years, the last 6.5 years that we've spent together have been some of the best years of my life. You mean so much to me. I don't know what I would do without you. I know that I love you. And I'm just hoping that you not only love me, but that I can live up to your expectations and be the man you want me to be. It'd be sacrilegious, but I almost want to get down on my knees and propose to you. But I won't, because that would be weird. So anyway, good morning, Sarah Tyler, and are you married? You are very good looking. Well, you're just sweet. That's just the Photoshop, Deborah Williams. Ken, we just met. That's a little forward. Charles, I'm very confident that you and I would make it a great couple. You enjoy watching my stream while taking your morning poop. Well, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. We're going to put you in timeout for that. I hope you enjoy that. Call you Sarah. I don't know that I will. I think I'm going to call you Sarah Tyler. But anyway, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Friday morning. Excuse me. It's January 23rd. It is 6:53 a.m. Happy Friday. This is a little show I have been doing for quite some time. It is a show about me talking. It is a show about me sharing some feelings, kind of sharing a little bit about the ups and downs we have in life, kind of sharing the adventure of one man's life. Been doing it a while. Like I said a little bit ago, I think it's been like 6.5 years that I started going live. Just about exactly a year I've been going live on YouTube, just a couple days past a year. I started off doing the show on Facebook on a whim one Saturday morning. People seemed to like it. I started doing it consistently, or fairly consistently, most Saturdays, and then I moved it over to TikTok, and it started growing there. And started a year ago, I came over to YouTube, and here I am. My audience is just over doubled in the last year, which is pretty good. But I'll tell you what, for a guy that really enjoys this and feels it makes a difference and watches the channel growth and the viewership growth way too closely, the more you watch it, the slower it grows. Not in actuality, but your perspective of it is very slow. Doesn't matter. If I picked up 3,000 subscribers today, you know, I'd still go, wow, I only have 13,000. It's very frustrating. So just don't watch if you're wondering. Hey, Charles Sauer sent a laughing disco ball. Charles, I so appreciate you sending me a laughing disco ball. I don't think I've ever gotten a laughing disco ball, so I appreciate you. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking. You know it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I've got a nice hot cup of coffee. Let's see if I can see the steam. Before I do, well, no, let me just, wait, I want to say it. Have you guys ever done it? You ever take like boiling water out on a really cold day and throw it up in the air? It's kind of cool. It immediately crystallizes. And I was thinking about doing that on this morning's show, or maybe for a video for anyone in a warm area from my Australian viewers, and get a big old pot of boiling water and walk it outside. This is me walking through my apartment building out the front door and setting up the video camera. And at this point, I'm really cold, and then throwing it up in the air and just having it crystallize. It's a really neat effect. But anyway, as I was saying, it's a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee. We already know it is the Saltwater Toffee Coffee by Seattle's Best. My hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. I woke up a little bit ago and I was still a little bit sick, and I was kind of going, well, I feel like coffee. I wonder if I'll enjoy the taste. I enjoyed the taste. Let's have another one. Rebecca Tilley from Australia is asking if it would really crystallize in the air. Yeah. I've never done it in huge volume, but I've certainly done it with coffee cups of cold water, or excuse me, boiling water or hot water. You throw it up. I don't know what temperature is required for this to exist, but I promise you, at minus 18 Fahrenheit, I could throw up water and it would crystallize in the air, and it'd be kind of cool, especially if we caught a cool light and whatever. I might do it. Might do it a little later. I mean, it's going to be well below zero all day. I think the high on the day is minus 6, which is pretty darn cold. Somebody asked, what's my day job? Well, I don't know. We got to go there right away. I mean, I could ignore you, Charles, but you sent me, I don't know, you sent me some gift. I don't even remember what it was. What'd you send me? Some gift I'd never gotten before. I think it was worth 125 joules. I don't even know what those joules are worth. I don't know if I can use them. Excuse me. Can I have these joules on my YouTube account? Can I purchase something with them? 55 says, our dogs refuse to go outside. It's brutal. Well, it is pretty cold. You love science. If I can, I should do it. Well, I definitely could. It's not too hard. I mean, I could. I mean, do you want me to do it on this show? Should I start boiling some water? Should I go out there as I am without even getting a coat on? I could probably grab the, okay, let's do it. Let's get the, right, you guys want me to do it. Julie Flanagan, you guys want me to do it, don't you? I was gonna save it for some other video. You would like to see me do this experiment. I mean, I'm worried. I don't know what will go wrong. I think my biggest concern, and it's only a slight one, is that I'll throw it up and you will not see it in the video. All right, Richard Sternicle. Hey, Richard, this is for all the Pop-Tarts you shared with me as a kid that I'm going to do the experiment. I hope you guys are pleased. I hope you guys are pleased. My plan is not even to wear any cold weather gear. Yeah. Somebody said my head is going to get cold. Yeah, it will get cold. It will get cold. I'd like to say it will pick me up new subscribers, but the whole thing is going to be very brief because I'm going to be very cold. But I got the teapot on. I won't be able to talk to you too much while we're walking down the hall. I don't want to wake up my neighbors. Don't catch pneumonia. Good idea. I think I already might have pneumonia. Somebody asked me earlier, what's my day job? The only job I currently work at during the day is a substitute teacher. And as much as I've enjoyed it, and as much as I'm good at it, and as much as I thought it'd be a good replacement income while the two restaurants I also work at are slow, I think back over the last month, we've had, well, today school was canceled because of cold weather. Monday, school was canceled because of Martin Luther King Day. Friday, there was, I think, some teacher conferences or something going on. A couple weeks before that, it was Christmas break, which was off for 2 weeks. And while we all like days off, believe me, I like days off. But I do need to get paid. And on these days off, I do not get paid. And let me tell you, the income I make as a substitute teacher is not so glorious that I can only work a couple days a week. Yeah, it's been too many days off. Plus, I've been sick as heck. What I'm kind of realizing, it's really dangerous, no matter how many jobs you have, to be a serious, not even a serious injury, but like a moderately serious injury, like a broken wrist or a bad case of pneumonia or something, or strep throat that puts you out of work for a week and a half, that could seriously impact your financial well-being. I can't have that. I can't have that. I'm 57. I'm super mature and responsible. I have 4 beautiful children and a lot of financial responsibilities. I can't keep this up. I just can't do it. I know you think I should. I know you so enjoy Coffee with Ken that you think it's going to be hugely successful. You know it's going to be hugely successful. Somebody asked, how am I going to keep the water hot? I don't know. I'm going to cover it with tinfoil, I think. And perhaps you don't even need to boil the water for the science experiment to work. Maybe that's just what we say. Maybe if you just throw up a cup of water and it's minus 18, the water crystallizes. I'm not going to try it because last thing I want to do is have the water come down and land on my head and me be standing out there frozen as an ice cube in the middle of the street and get a snowplow knock me over. You don't. It will work that hot with that cold. It will work. E-learning here, still in your jammies, laptop charging, move slowly for sure. Yeah, school, don't get me wrong. School isn't canceled. In-person school is canceled. And I get it. I mean, nobody should be waiting out for a bus in minus 18. You know, I get it. I mean, nobody should eat, okay. Also, nobody should be going out in their PJs with a boiling cup of water to throw it in the air to entertain his audience, but this one will. Maybe I should put on at least a hat and some gloves. I mean, I can't really see any reason not to, or even a coat. We'll keep talking for a little bit. It has to be very hot, otherwise it doesn't work at 55. Well, it's certainly going to be hot 55. I'm going to get it boiling. I'm not sure it's still going to be at boiling temperature by the time I get out there, but it's still going to be pretty darn hot. Anthony wisely says, don't forget my key. All right. Well, I'm going to wait till the water starts going. I'm going to wait. No need. Although I'm getting kind of excited about it. What if I throw it up and you guys can't see it, like the angle's bad, or I threw it too high, or the lighting was bad? I mean, I guess we'll just have to take that chance. I probably can be back in my apartment within, I don't know, certainly 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes of this wonderful science experiment. Again, it's minus 18 Fahrenheit. Ooh, it better not be windy out there. If it's windy, I'm gonna ask for some more donations up to this, to my jewels, which, again, I'm not even sure what I can do with. So yeah, here we are. I have some serious stuff to talk about, but I don't want to get into any serious conversations. I think one thing I've struggled with throughout my life is regulating my emotions. And a little bit, I think before you can regulate your emotions, I think you need to be aware of your emotions. And I think I used to let my emotions control my actions and my thoughts and who I was as a person. And I've been feeling various emotions in a strong way over the last few weeks. I don't know if I have time to tell you why before our science experiment takes off. And if nothing else, I'm proud that I am aware of what I'm feeling. And I've reached out to a couple friends and said, I'm struggling with anger today, or I'm struggling with sadness and fear. And I know that might sound crazy to y'all, but again, after spending most of my life feeling fear or anger or sadness or depression, I think it's important that we acknowledge them and say, hey, I'm feeling this way. And I think that acknowledgement is the first step towards healing. Well, I hear some water percolating. I'm gonna let you guys, I'm gonna get some stuff. And again, I'm doing this as a science experiment. I'm hoping it works. I know it can work. And my plan for you is I'm boiling some water. It's minus 18 degrees in Appleton, Wisconsin. I'm gonna get a cup of water. It's gonna be the Coffee with Ken cup. And I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna hopefully get my phone on a good stand. And I'm gonna throw the cup in the air and show you how hot water will crystallize very quickly in very cold temperature. So I'm gonna get a couple bits of warmth for myself right now. Hang with me. You guys get kind of excited? For anybody that kind of enjoys this sort of stuff, I'm telling you, I did a whole Coffee with Ken show sitting outside of Old Faithful in Yellowstone last summer, and I think it was beautifully done. And I'm sitting there drinking my coffee, and you can see the old guys are gurgling in the background, and then it goes off, and I just kind of quietly watch it go, and I think it's beautiful. So if you like this kind of thing, search up Old Faithful Coffee with Ken. You are gonna love it. But hold on, I'm gonna get some more stuff. Gotta blow my nose. Oh, you hear that sound. You hear that sound. Oh, yes, you do. Gonna get a little tin foil to cover my cup. If we can stop that now. I talked about it yesterday. What am I gonna do with this old Coffee with Ken cup? I'm gonna use it for such science experiments. Ooh, that's really hot. Woo! I overfilled it. Okay. We have one very hot cup of water. I don't know if I should do this. I've still got a cold. I can't believe you folks are making me do it. We only got 41 people watching. It better become a glorious audience before I get out there. Now, I'm gonna try and keep it quiet as I walk through my hall, but I have a hard time keeping anything quiet. But water may freeze, but you will too. I don't know what that means, Flanagan. Hold on. Hold on, I gotta put this down. Okay. Ouch. I hope it works. Got my keys. That could be a life and death mistake. If I forgot my keys. Hope you guys appreciate this. Please like and subscribe. Got my hot water. I'm in the lobby of my apartment building. Let me just show you how beautiful this lobby is. Look at that. I mean, seriously. Seriously. They don't make them like this anymore. Okay. Now keep in mind, we're going out into minus 18. So I'm gonna have to do this kind of quickly. Okay. Yeah, it's really cold. I'm gonna put my thing on this gentleman's car. I hope he's okay with that. I have 1 cup of fairly boiling water. And I'm gonna just go 1, 2, 3. It didn't really work. It didn't really work. I mean, it kind of worked. It kind of worked. Maybe you can't fill up a whole cup. Can you not fill up a whole cup? Is that the problem? Some of the water came down and landed on me. That didn't work at all. I think the problem was maybe there was too much water. I don't know. The water landed on me. It's not supposed to land on me. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. My coat's wet. My PJs are wet. I mean, it kind of worked. Maybe you can't fill up a whole cup. But either way, it was fun trying with you folks. Yeah, Rebecca, it did get me more. I know I've done it before. Maybe I didn't fill up a whole cup. I don't know. But I feel pretty proud of myself for trying it. There are no failures. Dang it. Probably just can't fill up a whole cup or something. I don't know. But anyway, you're welcome, Rebecca. I appreciate you. Oh, let me put this back down. I got hit. It landed on me. Again, my PJs are a little wet. get us some more coffee while we're sitting here. Yeah, well, certainly, Julie, there were some crystals in the air, but it didn't completely crystallize. Half the water landed back on me. Which was not what I anticipated. Well, it worked pretty well. I think I maybe had too much water or something. It definitely, believe me, I saw some steamish crystals going off, but I also felt water landing on me. But either way, that was fun. Got an orange here. I was dealing with a cold the other day. I still am a little bit. And then somebody say, oh, you got to have vitamin C. And I go, oh, I had plenty. I had 4 oranges. And then the next comment, they go, oh, you need more than 4 oranges. Plus, it needs to be emergency. I'm going, whoa. I'm sorry. Oranges in their purest form aren't good enough. You got to buy the name brand, Emergency. Got to check wind direction. Nancy, it shouldn't come down to wind direction. I'm just slightly a little disappointed, but not horrifically disappointed. I'll be okay. Don't you worry about me. So anyway, we'll go like this. How's that angle? How's that angle? Got the candle, you got the coffee, you got my water. That was kind of fun. Taking a little trip. Do I drink my coffee black? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yeah, everyone is a doctor, Nancy. You should see how many crazy recommendations. Stand on your head, eat ginger, and snort garlic. That'll cure you up. So do I want to talk about something serious and maybe too personal? I don't know. I don't know if I do. I don't know if I do. I think, again, it's important to be aware of our emotions. And again, I reached out to a couple friends and said, I'm feeling this way. And just saying that, not needing to bitch about life or stuff going on in our lives, because there's always stuff, and that's just, the details almost don't matter. But just being aware of how you're feeling, I think it's super important. And again, I reached out to some friends and said, I'm feeling this way, or I'm struggling with this way. And I reached out to some other friends the other day, maybe the same friends, and I was feeling a different way. And I think that's healthy. I don't know, Julie, if I want to go for it. You're scared. All right. All right, and again, I don't mean to critique your confession that's saying you're scared. But I'm just analyzing it from my point of view. For me, because when you're saying you're scared, that might be personifying the fear within you. And I think if you say you're feeling fear, or you're feeling afraid, or you're struggling with fear, I think that distances it from you. And again, I'm just talking myself through this because I do this all the time. And I wake up feeling agitated or angry or frightened or whatever all the time. And I think, again, acknowledging it, but removing it from inside us almost, saying, like, fear is like this piece of tinfoil, that you're carrying this piece of tinfoil. You are feeling afraid. So you're going, okay, this is my fear. And then you can almost put it down over on the table and say, there it is. And we can discuss it now. in a rational frame of mind, versus once it's in us and it's if it's who we are. Okay, about 3.5 years ago, just over almost coming up on 4 years ago, my brother Steve took his life. And I was the one who was always struggling in the family with depression. He first made an attempt on it, and our family kind of huddled together, and we're at the hospital with him, and we're trying to boost his spirits and talk through him. And I remember talking to my oldest brother. I have two older brothers. I have one now. And saying, wow, it feels like Steve kind of cut in line. I was the one that always struggled with sadness and depression and dark thoughts. I didn't know Steve did. And again, that tells me two things, or one thing at least, is you don't know what's going on inside the hearts and minds of other people. So if you have a chance to be kind, please do, because a lot of people are struggling with a lot of stuff. I knew Steve was struggling, but I didn't know how deep his struggles were. And I'd always entertained really, really dark thoughts. I'll call them because that's probably social media friendly, but struggled with and entertained very dark thoughts. And I remember the attempt that Steve made on his life made me more aware of my own feelings and my own struggles and my own fear and depression and anxiety and dark thoughts. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night, and I woke up my older brother and I go, hey, I'm feeling all these thoughts again. And he and I drove to my doctor's the next morning, and we got a prescription for Prozac. And I went on Prozac at that time. It was generic Prozac, and it was called, I think it's called fluoxetine. And I may have tried, I think they're in a category of drug called SSRIs, and I don't know what that stands for. I may have tried some others in my life, but because of what my brother had attempted the night or the week before, I decided to take my own mental health a little more seriously. And I don't know where I started. I might have started in the specifics for me, because my weight and body type and issues and chemical imbalance levels, the numbers don't matter, but I share them just in case anyone cares. I think I started at 20 milligrams, and I went back to see the doctor a month later, and they moved it up to 40 milligrams of fluoxetine, which again is a generic equivalent of Prozac. And I'd been on them for the last 3.5 years, and I've gone through some hellish stuff that I don't think most people, I mean, if you're watching, I've experienced, I've gone through some hard stuff over the last 3.5 years. And I'm proud of what I've done and proud of what I've gotten through. And I'm not ashamed at all, obviously, that I was taking something to help me with my feelings, I guess. But also in the back of my mind, and this might be, I don't know what it'll be, but I'll keep talking. Hold on, let me take some more coffee. I was wondering, because I talk a lot about how drinking alcohol and smoking pot is a crutch for not dealing with your emotions directly. And because of my thoughts on that, and my thoughts on the power of faith and gratitude to get through the hard times, I was kind of A, curious, B, questioning whether the Prozac, we'll call it, had become a crutch of mine, and whether I was addicted to it or not. So about, 2 months ago, it might have been about 2 months ago, it's probably about 2 months ago, I stopped taking it, cold turkey. And over the last 8 weeks or whatever it's been, I felt my emotions uh, in a deeper way. And I mean, sometimes a scarier way than I probably would have a few months ago. And I don't think it's a good idea, first of all, to stop taking um, probably any medication without talking to a doctor. Just I'll say that. But I did. I did. And I do think there are some chemical things that changes, and there's kind of weird tingly, feely sensations I've experienced then. But without a doubt, I've noticed myself feeling my emotions at a deeper level. And I talked about it at church. I was during a sermon the other day. I started crying at something the pastor said. There's music that makes me cry a little more. For the previous few weeks, I've been struggling with fear, and to the point it's caused me to lose some sleep. Last night, I was dealing with anger and yucky feelings in a way that I think was keeping me awake, and feeling nasty enough to text a couple friends in the middle of the night saying, hey, I'm struggling with some real anger right now. But my thought is this. And first of all, I don't think there should be any shame if you're going through something or you're struggling with something. And I want you all to take mental health really seriously and do what you got to do. But this show's always been about me sharing my stuff and my adventure. And I'm not saying my adventure is exactly yours. But I'd like to continue forward, if possible and if sensible, in a non-drugged way, be it, and I don't care, don't talk to me about caffeine. I'm talking alcohol, weed, or even the Prozacs and the SSRIs of the world. Because I want to feel my feelings. And I want to be aware of my feelings and use those feelings that God gives us and the emotions that God gives us to create the best life for me and the people I love. And I think part of the risk of using those is you can not feel sadness or not feel fear or not feel anger. And again, I don't like the negative emotions. Believe me, I don't. But I think they can be tools for motivation, change, maybe even improvement from time to time. Like, you wouldn't want to be able to remove the sensation of pain from your life, because then if you put your finger on the stove or in this candle, it would burn and you wouldn't feel it, and it would continue to burn. So there's a reason we feel pain in life, and there's a reason we feel our emotions in life. They tell us something's not right. And for me, at this point of my journey, and I might go back, but I feel good 2 months in. I just wanted to be here and acknowledge this leg of my journey, and explain to you that I'm feeling emotions in strong ways over the last couple months. And I think ways that, although I don't like waking up anxious or scared or angry or something like that, I don't. I think can motivate me to get where I need to go and where I was intended to go. And I think it's possible that I mean, I know that's possible. There's something really awesome. I mean, I think there's something awesome all around. I think this orange is really awesome. I think the color, the taste, the texture. I think God's gifts are all around us. I really do. But I think there's big things in my future. And I think if I don't embrace the wholeness of me, which is the passionate, emotional, occasionally pissed off, sometimes afraid, Ken, I might not achieve all that God wanted me to achieve. So that's my thought. And again, I stopped taking them 2 months ago. And I wouldn't advise doing it cold turkey like I did, but I just wanted to try it. And I'll be honest, there's a couple times over the last couple nights I've gone, oh, maybe I should go take it. And I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. But I'm just saying for me, I thought it was the right time. I took it. I'd often struggled, long struggled. There was various catalysts in my life. I was dealing with my brother's suicide at the same time of going through a painful divorce. And at that time, I felt it was more than I wanted to take on by myself without some help. But now I sit here. I've got a beautiful home. I've got 4 beautiful kids. I've got food in my fridge. Got a few days off of work. And I'm excited. I just kind of wanted to share that with you. We can help each other if we are real, and we all have these thoughts and feelings and wonder how to deal with them. Nancy said, life sucks, dude. Sometimes we need help. I don't think life sucks. Nancy, and you say it if you want to say it. I think that's the wrong attitude, though. I think that's the wrong attitude. I don't think life sucks. Life's challenging. And you need to get out there and skin your knee and learn from it and grow and improve and to accomplish what you're supposed to. I don't think it means life sucks. Don't doubt me. Don't doubt it. I know life's hard. I knew there's challenges, but I think life's beautiful. And I think if we can keep our eye on the blessing of this orange instead of, I got an avocado up there that's probably past its prime. I could so easily go, crap, that avocado's probably spoiled. Or I could say, boy, this orange looks great. And I'm promising you, if you celebrate the blessings of this beautiful orange versus an avocado that's probably going to end up in the garbage, your life's going to be better. And what I'm hoping to do is be more aware of my feelings and my emotions, to motivate, encourage, inspire maybe you guys, but inspire me to get where I'm supposed to be. Oh, it's good. Oh. So anyway, it's Friday morning. It's really cold outside. I mentioned something that I work for 2 different restaurants, and one of my restaurants I work for had a big management shakeup the other day, and one of my supervisors left or was let go or whatever. But either way, I think there's going to be extra stress on some of the top management at the place of work I work at. I'm working there as a bartender and server. And to be honest, I'm not that good as a bartender or server. but it doesn't mean I'm not good at a lot of different things. And I think when I'm working there as a bartender or a server, that my skill set is being misutilized. And when a management shakeup happened, I raised my hand and reached out to my top boss and said, hey, during this transition, if you need any help, I'm here for you. And he goes, hey, thanks. And I sat there and I go, I don't know if, I think that was good, but perhaps too passive. And yes, or maybe it was yesterday, maybe it was 2 days ago, 2 days ago, or 2 nights ago, 2 days ago, I put together a resume targeting that position, and with the help of ChatGPT, wrote up a email/cover letter for it saying how I'm open, I'm skilled, I'm open, I'm available, just even in a temporary basis during this transitionary time. I was kind of nervous sending it off because it, in some ways, sort of feels like a power grab, sort of feels like you're, you know, they're probably going to need some help. I'm offering some help in any way they want. And he responded very positively last night, and I'm excited about that. And it could lead to nothing. It could lead to, you know, who knows where it'll lead. But it felt real good getting a very positive response from him. And we'll see where that goes. But I don't think the key is doing that one thing and patting yourself on the back and stopping. 2 days ago, I went into a local restaurant bar in town and went in and said, hey, are you hiring for bartenders? They get real crowded at night. I think they probably make a lot of money here in downtown Appleton, and I think it could be close to home. I could walk there. Could be higher revenue and more consistent than the restaurants I'm working at now that seem more seasonally hot and cold, if you will. She said, no, we're not hiring, but I kid you not, I walked in and she goes, hey, how do I know you? Do you post videos? And she said, is your name Todd? I go, well, yes, I do post videos, but my name's not Todd. But either way, she still said they weren't hiring, but I did fill out an application while sitting in the restaurant, and it seemed like a place that would be matching my personality a little bit more than maybe where I'm working right now in terms of the hospitality field. And that doesn't mean I'm going to stop looking for 9 to 5 full-time jobs or whatever. I'm not. But I think sometimes you just need to take a little bit of a step. And even if that step is a no, I went into a bar yesterday that I think would be, I asked if they're hiring. She basically said no and didn't see me from my videos, had no interest in interacting, and told me to check back in a couple months and they might be looking for support. But either way, it's okay to get rejected. It's okay to hear no as an answer. Whether you're asking a pretty girl out to for a cup of coffee or a drink or dinner, or you're looking for a promotion, or you're looking for a new job, or whatever. It's okay to hear no. It doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean it wasn't worth the effort. It just means you're one step closer to getting where you want to go. And I know I've taken several steps in the right way that get me a heck of a lot closer to where I want to go. Nancy said, good for you, Ken. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. Nancy, I didn't position it as a squeaky wheel. I position it as, you need help. I am here for you. Let me know how I can help. We're going to talk. and see if there's anything I can help them with. But I think the management team that's still there is probably going to have more on their hands than they can handle right now. And I have a lot of experience in a lot of different jobs and a lot of different positions. And me taking soup orders from guests while I'm not above it might not be the fullest expression of my skill set. And that's, I mean, when we talk, hey, I'm here for you. I've got experience doing this, this, and this. I think I'm being underutilized, perhaps. I'm appreciative of the job I'm doing, but I think I'm capable of a lot more and could be better suited for a lot more. How can I help you? And hopefully he sees some synergies between his needs and my skill set, and we can find something either on a temporary or permanent basis that could be a cool start for me. Hey, Cole, thank you so much again for sending me that $5. Again, I don't know who you are, Cole, but I very much appreciate you. Hop on from time to time and are very generous. So I appreciate you hopping on and sending that to me. It means a lot. Nancy says, makes you stronger. My favorite saying is 10 no's and 1 yes is all that matters. And I didn't mean that the way you took it, I meant good for you speaking up. Okay, well, I appreciate that, Nancy. And I didn't mean to be, I apologize. I didn't mean to scold you or anything. There's a book out there that says go for no. I don't know if that's the exact title, but it says go for no. And I think, and I used to do this in door knocking, and I found it very successful and was allowed me to keep going even in tough conditions. I was a realtor for 17 years, and I would go out and knock on doors. I forget, it was like, I had a goal. I don't know if it was 4 days a week, and I'd want to talk to 10 people each night at the door about real estate. And instead of going out and looking to get a hot lead that said they were going to move in the next 2 years and then call it a day, my goal was to speak to 10 people. And it didn't matter if they said, get the hell off my lawn, or yes, I'm ready to move. I was, in fact, going for no. The worst thing that could happen to me when I'm knocking on doors, especially on a cold February morning or evening, depending on which day of the week it was going from door to door to door and not having anybody answer. That was my biggest fear. So it didn't matter what they said to me, as long as they opened the door and I went into my script, which was something along the lines, and it's been several years, of, good evening, my name is Ken Tracy, and I am a realtor with RE/MAX Action. I market your neighborhood very effectively. The reason I'm out this evening is I'm looking for people who are moving in 2 years or less so I could go to work for them. And I'd stop there and I'd wait for them to say something. And that wasn't a perfect version, but I haven't done this in several years. That was the gist of what I said. I put myself out there. I said what I did. I said why I was specifically good for them. I market their neighborhood very effectively. And what I was looking for was somebody looking to move in 2 years or less so I could go to work for them. So many people, I can't tell you how positive the response was to that. And it wasn't that hard. I wasn't trying to talk anybody into doing something they didn't want to. I was just being in front of them saying, hey, I'm here, I'm qualified, and I'm ready to go to work. And on average, probably 1 or 2 out of the 10 would say, oh yeah, well, actually, that's funny you say that. We were just talking about moving. And then I'd kind of get started. Well, hey, can I have your email address? I'll stay in touch. I'll send you any listings in the neighborhood that come up so you have some idea of what your home is worth. Does that sound good? Oh yeah, that'd be great. If you don't mind, could I have your phone number? maybe stay in touch, take you out for coffee down the road. Sure. You know, it was fairly effective. It was super effective. Still didn't make the business super easy. Real estate's a really hard business. Should I get a little more coffee? Tell you about my first date. I don't know what my first date was, but the first date that I can remember, and this might not be this wasn't my first date, but I was 16. I mean, it was probably my first date-ish. I borrowed my parents' station wagon. It was a girl I had met the previous weekend in Peoria, Illinois. We were there to watch the state cross-country meet. Neither of us were running, but we were there to cheer on, and she ran for I think the Homewood Flossmoor girls team, and I ran for Downers Grove North boys. And it was 1985, I believe, and you'll be able to verify what year in a moment. I drove my station wagon down there. I picked her up at her house. I was nervous as heck. And I think we went to dinner. I'm pretty sure we went to dinner. I don't remember where, but I do know we went to see a movie. Can you guess what movie it was? The movie it wasn't Shrek in 1985. It wasn't Gremlins, which at least was year appropriate. I don't want to let it wasn't the Goonies, it was Back to the Future. Kid you not, we went and saw Back to the Future, so I think it was 1985. It seems right, I was 16 in 1985. No, it wasn't Titanic, Julie Flanagan. That was 1998. I saw that with my mom. I think I cried. But it was Back to the Future, and I was so stupid. And this is why kids shouldn't be able to drive. For some reason, we were on some country road, and I thought it'd be cool to drive real fast. And I started driving real fast down this country road, like that would impress her. And I almost slid off the road. And my palms sweat just thinking about it, but I feel like an idiot. For that. But other than that, it's got fond, funny memories. I don't know that we went out again, but that was the first date that I can actually remember worth telling a story about. I think Conan the Barbarian was like 1983 or 4, or maybe even 82. Conan the Destroyer came out in 1986, I think. I don't think Conan the Barbarian would have been a very good date movie. And I don't think we would have been old enough. There's some fairly graphic sex scenes in that movie, and certainly a lot of violent gore. So I think that must have been rated R. It had to be rated R, because there was certainly nudity. And I think I was 16 and she was probably 15. So I think Back to the Future was a perfect movie for that. I remind Cairo of their dad. All right. So it's Friday morning. I'm getting over a crazy cold. It's deep negatives outside. I'm not working this whole weekend. I'm not sure if I'm motivated enough to go to the gym. And again, it's negative 18. I usually walk. It's a wonderful 6 or 7 minute walk on a normal day. I don't know that it would be wonderful today. it's almost not far enough to drive. You know what I mean? It's almost just getting the car out of the garage. I park underneath the building, so that's not a problem. But you park in a parking garage across the street, and then you walk there. It almost seems like more headache than it's worth. I was at my coffee shop last night, and was asking them if they were going to be open tomorrow. They said yes. I can walk there. That's just like 2 blocks. Well, thank you, Nancy. What is the topic this morning? Barry, there's no specific topic. If you would have tuned in about 20 minutes ago, the topic would have been SSRIs and mental health. But now we've moved past that. That's yesterday's news. Nancy, I think you're in Texas, are you not? I forget where you're from, Nancy. So anyway, we have a glorious audience today. We have 52 people watching. We got 42 thumbs up. We've got $5 in the kitty. And it feels good to be healthy enough to be able to enjoy my coffee for the first time this week. And that feels pretty good. I don't know if you guys have anything for me. You have any questions, anything you want to get off your chest, talk about? I have a viewer on one of my channels from Albuquerque. And she said she was going to get like 6 inches of snow in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I think Albuquerque's in the mountains. So I guess snow is probably not rare there. But, yeah, I don't know. Looks like they're going to get a big swath of snow throughout the country. And it's really not going to hit my area. My area is north of the snow, but just real cold. Barry says he has a lot of experience with mental health through his own, but no technical terms. You're 27. You have tinnitus, which drives you crazy. Is that like a ringing in your ears, Barry? Is that what tinnitus is? I imagine that could be perplexing. I'm going to sit here and strike while the iron's hot. I talked about this orange and how much of a blessing it is. Talked about my cold. I talked about vitamin C. And I'm going to have this orange while we're sitting here. You've gotten used to it. Only affects me a few days of the year. So it doesn't really drive you crazy, Barry. Right? And again, I'm only correcting you on that because I think how we perceive the world is how the world is. And a moment ago you said your tinnitus drives you crazy. And now you're saying you've gotten used to it. It only affects you a few days of the year. I think it's better to focus on that it doesn't really affect you. And I'm not saying it's easy or you're weak or anything, but I know if you say it drives you crazy, it does drive you crazy. And if you say it barely affects you or only affects you once in a while, it barely affects you. I'm just very in tune, I think, with how our thoughts are our reality. And I talk about my own stuff. And I know how I perceive the world is how the world is. Have I ever considered working at a senior rehab nursing facility? My gift of conversation. Not really. To be honest, it's going to sound horrible. And I'm getting old. I've never been super comfortable around. I mean, when I was a kid, I was a little scared of old people. And I'm 57, so I'm right there. I mean, if I started working at a senior center, they'd just check me in. They wouldn't let me go. Okay, Richard Sternickel's dealing with tinnitus as well. Do I also see a therapist to talk these things with, a professional? What things? No, I don't see a therapist. I've seen therapists before. I like them. I think for me, they're good places to get stuff off your chest. I'm trying to think. I mean, I've probably seen half a dozen therapists in my life. Maybe a couple marriage counselors. But yeah, no, I don't see a therapist. Julie's laughing. I'm not sure what she's laughing at, that they wouldn't let me go. They'd check me in and they'd shut the door, and suddenly I'd be wrapped up in a straitjacket in the rubber room. That'd be fine as long as they give me coffee and a straw and my phone. Hello, here I am in the Appleton Senior Center. I'm dressed in this white garb with very tight sleeves because I've been trapped. But fortunately, I have Wi-Fi at this senior center. The rooms around me, they look padded, but it's really for my protection. Oranges are nice. There's been some really nice oranges at the grocery store, and I've been buying the little cuties for a long time. And it's kind of nice getting the big full-size oranges. Where am I from? I'm from Appleton, Wisconsin. What's on my agenda this weekend? I amazingly have nothing on my agenda this weekend. Yeah, I have nothing on my agenda this weekend. Stay warm. Get healthy. Continue moving forward. Hopefully get to the gym at least once. It's been a week and a half of struggling through colds and stuff. They need pep talks. Well, at least I don't think it'd be a bad idea for me to hop in and give some pep talks to people from time to time. I think I would be good at that. Yeah, I think I'd be good at that. I don't know if you're just talking kind of as a nice thing to do or a hobby, but I don't think as a vocation, that's how I'd be best spent. I don't want to say I need to make some money, but I kind of need to make some money. Yeah. I honestly think this job, and it's not even a job, this possible job at the restaurant I currently work at could lead to something good. Full-time and lucrative, possibly. Well, that's good, Barry. Hello. Hey, Bass 3DO is here. It's so funny because I get people hopping on that I haven't seen in months. And I almost called him Bass 3DO. But I remember he corrected me several months ago. No offense taken. But he told me his name is like the fish, Bass 3DO. So welcome. Sarah. Are you Sarah the Heartbroken? Sarah Shanahan? I think you are. I had Sarah hop on 6 months ago. Sorry to bring it up, Sarah, but you tell me a story. It's mine to tell again. was heartbroken and was having a hard time letting go. It sounds like she's doing better. You are starting the probate process soon. You loved one died with no will. No personal experience with that, to be honest. I would get it settled as quickly as possible. The less you fight, the more that's going to be left for you all to share or split or do with what you will. Lawyer fees are grotesque. So I've no personal experience dealing with the probate process. I understand it can be messy. It's unfortunate they didn't have their assets in a trust or what have you. But I would encourage you to settle it as quickly as possible and avoid as many legal fees as possible. Hey man, I'm back. How's life? I don't know who you are, Jagath. Just because you're back doesn't make me remember you. Good luck, but here's the clue. Don't eat when people are talking to you. Well, that's not much of a clue. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. And if you don't want to watch it, you're going to get in timeout. You were heartbroken. You're doing good now. Well, way to go, Sarah. It's good to hear. I think that should be inspirational to a lot of us. Sarah was on my show about 6 months ago and didn't know what to do, couldn't get over the love of her life. And now she's feeling a ton better and doing great outside of this probate issue. Your real name is Josh. Hello, Sal. Good morning, Sal. Have I ever thought about being a therapist? I don't think sitting in a room with one person is what I should be doing. But I have thought about being a therapist. Speaking of work, off to it. Go get them, Nancy. When did I lose my hair? When I was in, 26, 27, it started thinning. And I don't miss it at all. So if you're out there and you're in your 20s and you're losing your hair, I understand. It was a very tough thing for me, and I'd stare at myself in the mirror with obsessive thoughts like I had. I'd be going, am I losing my hair? Oh my gosh, I'm screwed. I'm never going to get a girlfriend. I don't miss my hair at all. Do I ever think of full-time teaching? I don't know. Yes, I've certainly thought about it. I'm working as a sub right now. And I don't know if that's what I want to do. I don't know if that's what I want to do. I think it's great experience. I think my financial needs would still leave me feeling somewhat stressed and scrambling if I was a full-time teacher. Sarah said we need great, passionate teachers. I almost think my passion would be my undoing in a school setting. I don't think I think passion and emotion is good to a point, but I think my passion could be my undoing at some point in a teacher sort of setting. I have a feeling. So it leaves me wondering, what the hell am I supposed to do when I grow up? I'm not trying to be, no. I've certainly thought of teaching. I haven't fully decided how I feel about the educational system as a place of work, or even how the teachers themselves feel about the career that they have. Somebody said I have a very smooth face and a nice bald head. Barry says definitely a communication job. Barry, that's what I was talking about. Again, I mentioned I work as a bar and or a server and a waiter, which I can do because it's dealing with people. But I don't have any great skills for carrying bunches of plates or making pretty drinks or anything like that. At least efficiency as a server is probably 70% of the job, and it's probably 30% personality. And I think I am doing it on my 30% personality without being really strong at the efficiency aspect. And because of that, I think it's always stressful for me. I'm going, holy crap, somebody's gonna want water, their steak's not cooked enough, they need a fork, my mind's freaking out and I'm stressed out, and I think I'm a little scared every time I go into work. But I think in more of a customer handling situation / management of employees / willing to do anything sort of way, I think I could do a really good job if I got out of the position I'm at, server bartender, and suddenly was up here. And that's a little bit of a problem. I'm not always great at the ground level jobs, but I think I'm great at motivating and dealing with customers. Sarah said, the system is hard, in Texas anyway, but the kiddos are awesome everywhere. It's easier to teach adults that want to be there, college level. Sarah, that's a good, I felt frustration in teaching. And not that I'm afraid of frustration, and it's something, again, I'm getting better at. But if you have a group of kids that want to come in and not learn, I don't know what to do. I'm going, well, I want to say, well, get out of my class. There's 6 kids in here that are really, there's 10 kids that'll kind of behave, and there's 6 kids that really are excited about learning, and then there's 2 kids that would rather be anywhere else in the world. And just dealing with that can be frustrating. I imagine to teachers, especially if it's not 2 kids, if it's 5 kids that are there to distract you. I could definitely make a living on here. Where do you mean here? Bass 3DO says, you hear Texas Roadhouse servers make good money. Well, Bass, why are you hearing rumors? Why are you spreading rumors? Don't spread rumors. Ask me. You made decent money. I think I probably averaged $150 a night at Texas Roadhouse. And that was from 4 to 9 or 10 a.m. Sometimes it'd be 300, sometimes it'd be 90, but rarely under 100. 100 to 300 would probably be it, with the average about 150 to 100 and something like that. But it was, I'd go in and, I was really good at it, but it was going to war every day, because you're going to have your section's going to be filled and you're just going to be going shum, 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 shum. Bread rolls, water, bread rolls, water, bread. I think the job could be about 70% easier if we would bring out the water right away. Half the time, I think there's some horrid inefficiencies at Texas Roadhouse. The line to refill sodas, I spent too much of my time waiting behind other waiters trying to get drinks refilled at this soda machine. If there would have been a pitcher of water that I could have poured into various glasses and brought them out, it would have made it so much easier. I don't know why they don't do it. Somebody's a university lecturer. You absolutely love it. Ages 18 to 21 is a great age. They want to learn. I don't know what it means to be a university lecturer. You said not bad. Yeah, no, it's not bad. It was pretty good. But again, it was very physically demanding. I'm telling you. I never sat still at Texas Roadhouse, which was cool. I cannot tell you how many steps I would get in. You guys have all been in a Texas Roadhouse. It's a fairly sizable in terms of square footage. And there's some sections that are on the far corner from the door which is on the opposite corner from where the bread rolls are and the butter that comes out, which are totally delicious. And it's all the bread you can eat. And you'd be making trips back and forth for bread. I can't tell you how many steps I got in. I always felt really exhausted and after a night's work, but it was good work. It was good hard work. Yeah, you don't want to work there if you have a peanut allergy. It's better now than it used to be, but yeah, you shouldn't go in there with a peanut allergy. You teach software development and design. Students love building things. Bit part of being a good teacher's personality. You do great. Well, yeah, again, you teach a college level course, which I think is awesome. And that sounds fun. I don't know what I'd teach though. It's kind of hard to put in a box. I feel I'm very talented, but I just don't know exactly how to get that going in the right direction. Motivation, coaching, therapy, teaching. Barry says a therapist. But I think the last thing I want to do, Barry, to be honest with you, like Sarah Shanahan was on here a little bit ago. I don't know that I want to sit for an hour. I think the problem with me with being a therapist, I'd say, well, get your head out of your ass. Stop your whining. I wouldn't really say that, but I don't know that spending an hour with somebody on a couch talking to them and holding their hand is necessarily the right thing for me. So a little bit, I feel good about this because I get people hopping on with all sorts of issues. Again, Sarah's hopped on about probate. I don't know if I helped her, but I have some knowledge of it enough to at least be introduction to guiding something to watch out for is squandering all the money in legal fees. What about some youth who need guidance, camping, do it yourself, being practical, like scouts or something? I'm not at the point where I can be a scout leader. I have little ones. I have huge expenses and very little saved for retirement. When I say very little, if I think about it, I really mean nothing. So yeah, no, I can't just be altruistic at this point. This can't be just volunteer to fill the time. Honestly. Yeah, I can't just be a scout leader. It'd be fun. I got a buddy, by the way. One of my good friends and his son are going camping this weekend and with the Boy Scouts. And it's in Wisconsin, about an hour north of Madison, he said, so probably close to here. And they're not in a tent, but they're in a cabin with no central heating. And the person that gets there first is supposed to turn on space heaters. I don't know if space heaters are going to cut it. They're going to freeze to death. I think they should cancel it almost. Somebody says money's hard to come by and quick to go out. Well, it's super hard, quick to go out. And so I appreciate the thoughts of, again, me being a therapist, with one person. This is going to sound vain. How about delivering pizzas for downloads? Julie, are you still there? Are you still there, Julie Flanagan? Tell me you are. Hey, Peter Bean, how long have you had an account? Just tell me, because I'll find out. I'll find out. But you can tell me, Peter Bean, how long have you had an account? Because I've always kind of been skeptical, long time. How long? Because you're a weird one at best. You're possibly a troll. A few months. It sounds like a troll to me, Peter Bean. Sounds like a troll. I know when you hopped on and you started making comments, and I've always been skeptical of you because you say weird things. Like, how about delivering pizzas for Domino's Pizza? Oh, yeah, that's a great solution. That's what I should do, Peter. Great idea. Yeah, because I think Peter Bean's what we call a troll. Welcome aboard, Peter. Facts Not Feelings hopped on and said, what's the topic? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? Facts Not Feelings. What's the problem? I don't know that there is a problem. There's no problem. It's just a guy drinking coffee, talking about life. I did a little science experiment that didn't work as well as I was hoping earlier today. I did it live. I'm sitting here in Appleton, Wisconsin, and it's 18 degrees below zero out. And I know I've gone outside and thrown up hot water into the air and had it all turned to steam. But apparently you can't do it with a full cup of water, because I threw it up and half of it came down and landed on me. And I did that live for you. Interests, hobbies? What do you mean? What's my thoughts on Plato's Republic? First of all, I don't know what you mean. Interests, hobbies, and what's my thought on Plato's Republic? First of all, I don't know what Plato's Republic is, unless you're talking, is that a store? Is that like Banana Republic? Meet some Greek philosopher? And does it have anything to do with me asking me what my interests or hobbies are? Stunk Puppets says I'm definitely a Democrat. Elizabeth Brundage, we have a house up in Land O'Lakes. I don't know where Land O'Lakes is, Elizabeth. We have a glorious audience today. We got 62 people watching. Thumbs up. And I'd appreciate if we could get up to 60 likes. That'd be fun. My show grows a little bit every day. And despite all these great suggestions, especially Peter's suggestion that I deliver pizzas for Domino's Pizza. That's just the job I was looking for. That's really the one I need. But anyway, yeah, my page grows every day. And despite all this talk about finding a coach or a teacher or this or that, I think the one thing I've really been good at in my life is talking and making conversation, kind of motivating and being positive and encouraging. So if you're new here, please double tap the screen. I've got 53 thumbs up. That feels really good. I think the more thumbs up I get, the bigger the audience I have, because YouTube pushes my show out to a bigger group of people, and I'd appreciate that. Also, if you're new, please subscribe, because again, my show grows every day. I had about 4,700 subscribers a year ago, and I'm over 10,000 now. And I'd really love to get to 100,000 because I want the silver plaque. Yes, at 100,000 subscribers, I think I'd probably be making 5, 6, 7 grand a month on YouTube. But I really don't care about that. I want the silver plaque. So if you want to help me, one small step will be double tapping the screen. And if you could do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. Those people's skills for talking, motivation, social issue, you'd make a great coffee van dude. I don't want to be a coffee van dude. I don't care if people love chatting with me. I don't want to be a barista. Do I have a podcast? I think, somebody said I'm not as masculine as Mike Rowe. And while I must even acknowledge that, I mean, he's on the world's dirtiest jobs. I feel a little insulted that you said I'm not as masculine as Mike Rowe, but I can't deny it. He's really cool. But I think in some ways that makes me okay because I also have broader appeal. I can talk about all sorts of topics that Mike Rowe's probably too manly to talk about, maybe. He's too busy getting his hands dirty. That's not me. Do I have a podcast? Mike, I think this is my podcast. I don't interview people. I engage with an audience. This is my podcast. So I think the definition of podcast is this. It doesn't have to be on Spotify or what have you. You only go live to piss people off when you're bored. Well, facts, not feelings. I don't know that I want you around on my channel any longer. You seem very negative. And I don't think we should keep negative people around in our lives. I don't. Isolate the crap out of them. Let them live outside of your safe zone. Where did my audience grow? It shot up to 100 people and then dropped down to 40. It's really exciting. Learning centers. Wow, it's moving all over. But one thing that's not moving all over, and we got a steady climb, is the number of thumbs up, which I'm thankful for. If anyone could double tap that screen again real quickly, get me to 60, it'd be awesome. I'd smile. You want to see me smile? You do not want to see a sad face on me. That's my sad face. This is my sad face. Waiting for one more thumbs up. Don't give me a sad face. Don't make me do a sad face any longer. It hurts. It's hard. It takes more muscles to make a frown than a smile. Let me smile. Let me smile. Don't make me spend all this energy frowning. Don't make me spend all this energy frowning. Come on, I need one more. I need one more. Come on, don't do it to me. Jack Taylor, I bet you're hoarding a thumbs up. Give me the thumbs up I need so I can stop frowning. Look at the pain on my face. Come on. Come on. There we go. I'm telling you, a smile does feel good. Do those Americans popping up all over Europe think everyone is dumb like in Dearborn? I don't know what that means. Are there Americans popping up all over the place in Europe? Like, what do you mean? They're like, there's an American. Ooh, another one. One just came out of that door. Damn Americans. And do they think everyone is stupid like in Dearborn? I don't know what that means either. Obama is running to Britain, getting the keys to Dublin. I don't know what that means either. Like, is the Prime Minister of Ireland giving him the keys to Dublin? I mean, I don't know how much Ireland cares about Obama or Obama cares about Ireland. I liked Obama. He was a heck of a speaker. Americans are everywhere. Are we? I mean, we're certainly in Appleton, Wisconsin. But are we everywhere? This has been one of my most glorious audiences, with 61 people watching, 62 thumbs up, $5 in the kitty, and 135 gems. Can I do an Obama impression? No, I can't, Jack Taylor. I don't do impressions. I do not do impressions. And I don't know if typing counts as an impression, Jack Taylor. Does my voice like Obama at all, or is it just like Mike Rowe? Do I look like Obama? He has more hair than me. We're probably about the same height. Does anybody know how tall Obama is? I feel he's probably 6'2". I bet he doesn't weigh 215 like I do. Thank you, Rebecca. I am Ken. You were in Door County, Wisconsin last year. Have I been? I remember going as a little kid to Door County, but it's only, I don't know where it is even. It's probably an hour from here. And I hope to go this summer and visit. I think it'd be really cool. But I hear it's beautiful. There's a lot I'd like to do. There's a lot I'm excited about doing. Despite my cold, despite my somewhat vague career path, I have a lot of opportunities. Rebecca, you keep that heat down in Australia. We're enjoying basking in negative 18 degrees right out there. Right out there. Sure, it looks sunny. Sure, we got some cars out there. Oh, but it's cold. Oh, but it's cold out there. So I've eaten an orange. I've had several cups of coffee. I've thrown some water in the air. We've got 53 people watching, 62 thumbs up. I really have nothing on my plans today. And it'd be easy, given that I've been fighting a cold, to rationalize not going to the gym. Somebody noticed that this guy has a candle. You don't have to just call me this guy. You can call me Ken. And everyone can see I have a candle. I mean, it's right there. It's quite prominent. Ahoy from AR. I don't know where AR is. Jim Rat. Jim Rat. It has been an amazingly glorious audience. Jim Rat, thank you so much for noticing. Thank you so much for noticing. There's no traffic on the road. Let's see. Oh, Arkansas. You're from Arkansas. Well, hello from Arkansas, Wolfgang. I can't send you any snow, Rebecca. We don't really have much snow. Again, do I have to show you? We got some snow. Again, that parking lot is a bad representation of how much snow we do or don't have here in Wisconsin. It gets plowed off about every 5 minutes. That's snow. That's what I should do. Instead of delivering pizzas for Domino's, thank you very much, Peter Bean. I should get a truck with a plow on it and compete for the business to plow that parking lot every 5 minutes. Because that guy must be making the money. Oh, Peter Bean, just because you send me an occasional low-cost gift doesn't mean you're not a troll. Again, you can't take your eyes off me. You can't take your eyes off me. No, I do not have a cheese hat. I'd look very handsome in a cheese hat. It's amazing how much ire it brings up when I wear a Green Bay Packers shirt. I don't even like the Green Bay Packers. Sometimes I do it just to get reactions out of you, rubes. I play with your emotions. This is what I do with you. You think you can control me? I am controlling you. Jim Rat, I'm feeling better. I went to work yesterday. I worked a half a day at school, and because that was my assignment. But school's canceled today, Jim Rat. It's negative 18 out there, Fahrenheit. So school isn't canceled, but subs don't get paid today. It's e-learning day today, which means kids stare at their computers at home, I think. Jesus does love me. I'm struggling. What do I want to say? All right, see you later, Jack Taylor. Do I want to talk about the Bible? I read 2 chapters from Matthew last night. I almost feel the 3 months I spent reading the Old Testament has spoiled me for Christianity. You are a metalhead. What is your favorite band, Mr. Metalhead? Like, I wouldn't even know, like, you're going to name a band that I've never heard of. If I think of metal, I'm thinking like Pantera or something, which is like 30 years ago. And I don't even know if Pantera is metal by definition. Or, if I think of metal, I want to say Metallica or Judas Priest or something. How do you not like Caleb? How do you not like Caleb? Somebody said they don't like Caleb Williams. I would say if you shuffled all the players in the NFL, he'd be one of the top 5 players drafted by NFL general managers. I just don't know how you can't like him. He's got a great, I think, football IQ, and by that I mean he throws the ball out of bounds when he needs to. He runs for daylight if there's a seam, and he is an amazing athlete. I think if you combine amazing athlete and amazing football IQ, you got a star. Slipknot. I've heard of Slipknot. I can't think of one song that Slipknot sings, but I think I've heard one Slipknot song. Do you consider Judas Priest metal, or is that just hard rock, Hal Walker? Judas Priest considers themselves metal. And you master Slipknot on guitar. Okay, but again, do you like Judas Priest, and do you consider them metal at all? I've listened to enough of their live shows that Rob Halford often mentions metal-loving fans a lot during his show. How's our audience? Jim Rat, are you still here? Are you still keeping track of our audience? For a moment, Jim Rat, we bounced over 100 viewers. Oh, Scott Baran, where have you been? Where have you been? You've probably been playing out in the snow in Nova Scotia. I miss you. There was a time when Scott Baran would hop on my lives and encourage the audience to like my videos, to subscribe. Now, he's hit and miss. I can't even trust Scott Baran anymore. Where do I live? I live in Appleton, Wisconsin. It's a lovely town of 75,000, about 40 minutes south of Green Bay, and about an hour and a half north of Milwaukee. Cool town. I live in a beautiful apartment right here. Here it is. That's my apartment. Oh yeah, that's a fireplace. Not a real fireplace, but a YouTube one. And that's where I live. What became the metal look? You mean the leather and the, yeah. Riding out the Harley. I saw Judas Priest, I hate to say it. I saw him live once, and it was without Rob Halford, about I don't know, maybe 20, 25 years ago, Rob Halford left the band for a while, and they got in another singer that I think his name was The Ripper. And I'll tell you what, that guy could sing. And I saw him in a small club in Chicago, and it was an amazing concert. It was an amazing concert. It was an amazing concert, yeah. Ripper Owens, is that the dude's name? He was great. Yeah, no, he did a great job. He didn't, I mean, but again, imitation is the highest form of flattery. And just because you can sing like Rob Halford doesn't mean, it's the same. Or what is it, Journey? Steve Perry, they get a different singer for him every other week, it seems. And yeah, the guy can sound like Steve Perry, but it's not the same. Jim Rat, it's glorious. It's glorious. Scott Baran, it's pretty dang glorious. We got 6. How do we get up over 100 likes? Let's get you guys involved. 2 years ago, it felt like people were throwing jobs at me, and there was a lot of work in the field that you're in. Now they're not refilling the federal positions. Okay. So they're not hiring federal government? Maybe that's not a bad thing. Again, I hate to say, I'm generally for smaller government. And I'm not wishing against the AP3, but I'm for smaller government, and smaller government would probably mean less jobs in the federal government. So maybe it's not a horrible thing that jobs are harder to find in governmental positions. I was talking with a school teacher, maybe it was yesterday, and asking her, hey, what should I do for a living? And she was saying, well, you seem really good with kids. And I go, yeah. And I go, if I could do it all over again, I might grab a government position and opt for stability over volatility, and be a fireman or a teacher or a cop or something. I doubt it, though. I doubt it. I don't even care about money, but I just feel like life is like Monopoly, and it's meant to be played to win. The weather in Wisconsin is glorious, is truly glorious. Scott Baran said that he ran out of cream for your coffee this morning, so you're flying without coffee. Well, Scott Baran, in one nutshell, one sentence, you just described why I drink my coffee black at home. I never wanted to be slave to cream, especially the sweet cream. You pour that little French vanilla in there and it tastes so good. It's like you're eating a snow ice cream cone or something like that. But you get hooked on it. And then when you run out at home or running low, you can't enjoy the coffee the next morning. You put a couple drops in. Scott Baran said you tried it black. Okay, can I give you a recommendation, Scott Baran? Can I give you a recommendation? Can you work with me? Can I coach you? Can I train you? Can I teach you? Can I inspire you, Scott, to make you just a little bit better? You said yes, please. Learn to drink your coffee black at home. Learn to drink it black at home. I don't want to hear you whining about it being too bitter. You should never go through this experience again where you're out of cream and you cannot enjoy your coffee. I would tell you today, get up off your butt, go to your coffee maker, and I'm going to do it, and get yourself a cup of black coffee and drink it. And then tomorrow, do it again and keep doing it, because I understand what you're going through. I've been there. I used to always drink the French vanilla in the little plastic thing. It's probably unhealthy for you. It's useless calories. It's a little bit of money. But the biggest issue is when you run out, you cannot enjoy the coffee at home. And Scott, I don't ever want you to be in this situation again. So I'm begging you, get off your butt and go get yourself a cup of black coffee. And if you need a partner, I'm gonna go get myself some too. Believe me, I used to be like you and couldn't drink it black. But honestly, if you learn to appreciate, the cream adds more texture than anything. Um, and I think you can learn to really enjoy the taste of the coffee, but it takes some practice and you could do it. Did I ever rock to Queensryche? Just silent lucidity. It's funny, I talked about Albuquerque. Hold on. I talked about a viewer I have who lives in Albuquerque who's gonna get some snow today. And she asked if I've ever been to Albuquerque. I told her next time I'm in Albuquerque, I'll buy her a drink. The last time was 33 years ago when I was driving to California. And I pulled in, maybe got gas or something, and the song that was playing that reminds me of Albuquerque is Silent Lucidity by Queensryche. And for anybody that wants to test me, Google when Silent Lucidity came out. I bet it was like 1991. Might have been 1990, but either way, they were playing it on my drive to California in Albuquerque. Am I familiar with architecture at all? Well, you love the works of Frank Lloyd Wright. Frank Lloyd Wright made a lot of houses, or designed a lot of houses in, I think it's Oak Park, Illinois. And I remember as a kid, we went and did a field trip to look at some of the homes that were built, designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. I think it was Oak Park, Illinois, where they're built. So I'm a little familiar with Frank Lloyd Wright. Am I familiar with architecture? Well, I understand the concept. And I dated an architect student in college. Have I been to the gym? Well, certainly not today, Gym Rat. Am I holding off because I haven't been feeling well? Yes. But I'm also holding off because it's 18 below out there, Gym Rat. I don't know if I want to go to the gym or not today. It's really cold out there. I wouldn't think it would be pleasant at all getting to the gym. And yes, I could drive, but that seems harder. Chloe does boxing. I thought about that. I would almost like to get some gloves. And I don't know if you got to tape your wrists or there's gloves that protect your wrists. I have pretty small wrists. But I'd love to hit the heavy bag for, I'd love to say for even a minute, but I probably couldn't even last a minute. I think I threw 20 seconds of punching at it. I'm pretty exhausted. But I'd love to do it and work up, and I think that'd be a great, great workout. So, wow, look at that. We jumped up to 83 viewers and 69 thumbs up. Does anybody have any great knowledge of YouTube and know why my audience is whizzing around so much? Mike LaManche is saying, just go to the gym. You went out and threw hot water at yourself. Well, that's true, I did. I might go to the gym, and I have nothing to do, but I'm so busy entertaining you fools that I'm not ready to go yet. Plus, I still like to see us get over 100 viewers. Which one would I prefer for boxing, Cuba or Soviet style? I didn't know if there were two different styles of boxing. I thought the main idea was to punch the other guy more than he punches you, no matter what style you were doing. Operation Mindcrime is heavy and criminally underrated. I don't know, is that a band? Is that a band? We got 70 likes. See, Scott Baran shows up and he brings, but that doesn't explain the fact that I've gone from 83 down to 19 and now I'm at 57. I get that there would be a gradual, maybe a couple here, a couple there, moving around a little bit, but it's really whipping around today. It's got me excited. I don't know what else I have for you. Scott brings a fire to my audience. It's because Scott is hot. Oh, Queensryche's first album. Again, outside of Silent Lucidity, which isn't a rockin' song. It's more of a, is it a love ballad? Silent Lucidity. Does anyone know the song Silent Lucidity? You learned to drink black coffee when you were 5. Grandma would make breakfast on the farm. It was cornbread, beans, and black coffee. I'd finish my chores so damn fast. Well, way to go. Good morning, AJ. They see and hear that I'm interesting. I don't even know if I am interesting, but I'm able to keep a conversation going. Kind of got a little chill in my finger. Mike's telling me to go to the gym. Look at that. I know it doesn't, you can't see the cold. But let me tell you, it's really cold out there. Are you sure I shouldn't just lay down? If I had a soft couch or a TV in my room, I might not leave my room today. You are, or else we wouldn't be here. Oh, well, thank you. Ken, it would also save me money it would save you money, Scott. I mentioned that as one of the things. It'd save you calories or chemicals. I'm telling you, if you drink coffee and you drink 6 cups or whatever a day at home, I know that might be a lot, but say you drink 3 cups or 2 a day at home and you put a shot of cream in each, you're probably picking up 50 calories a day, let's say, maybe more. And over a month, I mean, that's a ½ pound you're gaining in useless calories. Can I move the TV to my room? Well, yes, I can, Lisa, but it's a really big one. And you're right, TVs are amazingly light. I could move it to my room, Lisa. Beast says, live viewer numbers shooting up and down indicate viewers are fickle and want immediate wow factor. Also can mean deficiencies of the digital creator for not having compelling content. Beast doesn't know crap. The one thing I know about Beast is he don't know crap. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. You'd love to own a cow. Scott, would you really love to own a cow? Am I looking for roommates? No. No, I'm not. I don't know. No, Beast doesn't know crap. I look like Chad Mills. I don't know who Chad Mills is. What do you think about the genre they call nu metal? Scooby Snack, I have no idea what nu metal is. Oak Park House, the Ruby House, Frank lived in Chicago, Revolution. Okay, yeah, no, I must have been there. That I was right, it is in Oak Park. Why do I intrigue you? I don't know, I intrigue you. That's why I always have a glorious audience. Just stick around. Okay. Probably because not only is my audience glorious, perhaps, and not only is Scott and Rebecca and Jim Rad and Mike LaMancha and Lisa Smith and 55 and Julie Flanagan and Jack Taylor, maybe not only are they all glorious, perhaps I'm glorious too. Nu metal is the rock and roll that rose to popularity in the late 90s and late 2000s, like Tool. That seems, or I don't know, Rob Zombie or White Zombie. Is that nu metal then? You're obsessed with me. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. You're obsessed with me? You're not a woman, are you? You're a Gucci bag bandit. I just don't think you're a woman. No woman is ever obsessed with me. Dudes are obsessed with me. But it would be strange to be a dude and label yourself a Gucci bag bandit. But for some reason, I inherently think criminals are males. So if you're going to be a bandit, to me, you almost got to be a guy. Do I get a lot of interest when I'm tending bar? With what? I get people wanting more old fashions. I'll tell you what, I'm bored as hell of them telling me exactly how they want their old fashioned. Do I like Tool and White Zombie? Not particularly. I mean, it's funny because I think music must suck now. Because, and maybe it's just they're showing me the music that I'm interested in, but I get videos and people from the songs that I considered average at best in the 80s and 90s that I couldn't have cared less about at the time are all like still very popular and put out, and you get crowds loving these guys like Peter Cetera or something singing. They'll go, oh, he's still got a great voice. And I'm going, well, yeah. You got so much done this morning. Washed floors, cleansed bathroom. Thanks for entertaining me. 55, I live to entertain. It looks freezing out there. It is. It's negative 18. What kind of coffee? Sea salt toffee coffee. Jim Rat, are you there? With 43 people watching, 73 thumbs up, $5 in the pot, and 140 gems. Is that glorious? I would say it is glorious. Where am I? I'm in my kitchen. Oh, you're in British Columbia, not Nova Scotia. I apologize. Is Nova Scotia near British Columbia, Scott? It's pretty glorious. Is there such a thing as pretty glorious? Can something be pretty glorious? I mean, because glorious is right up here. And when you say like pretty, that's kind of like sort of. And you can't be sort of glorious. That's like sort of pregnant. British Columbia. All right, Scott, the problem is right now, Scott, I might remember wrong where you live. So I'll try and remember British Columbia, but my fear is I've got it programmed in wrong that you're in Nova Scotia. And if you're on the opposite side of Canada, I'd rather not be that wrong. Peter Cetera certainly is a blast. I saw Peter Cetera sing. No, but I mean, again, wonders, they come out and they act like this was the greatest song ever. This brings me back to when I was 17. I'm going, yeah, it kind of sucked back then, and it's not much better now. It's only better now because there's no good music now. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. That is nice. 51 people watching. I don't know if I've got it in me to get 8 more likes that we all crave. I don't know that I can do it. I mean, I provided an hour and 29 minutes of what could only be described as glorious content for a glorious audience. I've got the candle, I've got the coffee, I ate an orange, I did a science experiment, I went outside, and I don't know. Oh, hey, Gucci Bag Bandit, we'll see you back in a minute. You just violated something. There you go. You find that you have to speed all music up or slow it down depending on the song. Well, that's really weird. I mean, that's really strange. So like if you popped in like Let It Be, you'd say, too fast, too slow. You actually change the pace of the song. That seems so strange. you're stealing. I mean, you do what you will. If you can do it, I don't even know how you would do it. But you either need to speed up or slow down a song. We got 74 likes. I feel like the marathoner who trips and falls a half mile to the finish and is crawling forward going, I don't know if I can make it. And the crowds are roaring. Yay! 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 And I'm going, I can't do it. And Scott Braun's going, you can. And Rebecca Tilley's going, it's 4 a.m. in Australia. I wish you'd get off so I could go to bed. And Gucci Bag's going, why did I get muted by Ahmad? You didn't get muted by Ahmad, Gucci. You got muted by me. And Jim Rat's saying, it's glorious. You can do it. Paul Anka is still rocking with a beautiful voice. Nothing, it's not quite, it's 1:56 in the morning. All right, well, I didn't know what time it is in Australia. So it's 1:56 in Australia, a.m. So you are further east than Thailand. Is that right? Because in Thailand, it's just about 10 o'clock at night. So you must, and again, it's good to know, this is how you must be further away than like Thailand. Because I think it's 9:58 in Thailand right now. And so you're several hours that way. Could that be? Like, is Australia floating out in the Pacific Ocean? Or is it below Japan? I always thought it was a little west of like Japan and stuff like that. I think that it is. I don't know, guys. I don't know. 133 minutes. 133 minutes. We got 75 thumbs up. I love you for those 75 thumbs up. I don't even know if I want to cheer on to get to 80, because if I get to 80, a guy like Scott Braun's going to hop on and tell me from Nova Scotia or British Columbia or Jim Rat or Rebecca, or it's going to hop on and say we could do better. And we can always do better. We got 76 thumbs up. It's 9 in the morning. I've talked for 2 hours and 14 minutes, and it has been a glorious show. It has been a glorious show. Think Australia is in the Indian Ocean. Yeah, I kind of think it's in there too. Oh, Gucci Bag Bandit, you figured out how to like. Have you double tapped the screen? Gucci Bag Bandit? Good morning, Cody Pierce from Oklahoma. Cody Pierce, something about you hopping on gives me a little burst of energy. We've got 80 thumbs up. We can't just sit here and cheer on the thumbs up all day. That wouldn't be a good use of my life or my day. The gym is calling. Mike LaMancha thinks I'm being a wimp for not wanting to go outside in 18 degrees. This day. I think if Mike LaMancha was living in Appleton, Wisconsin, he'd be somewhat hesitant to run out to the gym as well. Is that snow? I mean, it's not snowing. There's snow. Like, look, you can see, like that's snow, but it's more, you know, this area gets salted and shoveled all the time. There hasn't been that much snow I think I was looking at the snow report in a nearby ski community called Little Switzerland, which is I think it's called Singer, Wisconsin. I drive by it when I'm going to Chicago. And I think they said they've gotten 20, maybe 37, but maybe 27 inches of snow. So that's not too much. You are Bahamian. Welcome. This is proglorious. Are you making up a word, proglorious? Mike, it's not just as cold there. I bet you it's several degrees colder here than where you are in Illinois. And it's easy to say you'll be for your noon workout, but we will see. You talk the talk, but do you walk the walk? So anyway, it is Friday morning. And it has been a glorious, glorious day. And a glorious, glorious morning. And I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. We've talked about serious topics, some joking topics, some fun topics, a little bit everything in the middle. And we've even done a science experiment. And I want to thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful week today. That you are staying warm, that you are feeling good, you are loving yourself, you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.